Put up my notes. Yeah, it's still going on about it.
You going up?
Don't know, you know.
Same this morning. Same this morning.
Yeah, if I don't. All right, this is the I.S.U.P.K Wednesday law class. Also, remember, check out Commanding General YAHANNA's radio show, which is Monday, 2 a.m. UK time. Also, there's classes in the States, Tuesday through Friday. Yeah, Monday through Friday, actually. Also, there's classes here, Monday, the history class, Wednesday, the law class, Thursday, the scripture breakdown class. And we also got the lecture coming up, 30th of November, 3 p.m., 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW. Officer Parasha is going to be showing you how Islam ain't as authentic as you think it is, and it ain't as what's it called? It ain't as true as you think it is, and there's no need for you to believe in, and how them Arabs hate black people and whatnot. He's got all the history books. He's been working hard on the lecture. He's got all them books, so you don't want to miss that lecture, man. He's going to be attacking it from every angle.
Right.
Every single angle is going to be attacking it from. I've heard some of the information, man. I've heard some of the information, and it's some heavy information that 99% of people don't know. And if you're a black Muslim, you should be coming to this lecture, man, because you will come to this lecture, and I guarantee you, you're gonna take that kufi off before you leave, man. Halfway through that lecture, you're gonna say, "Damn Islam," and take that kufi off. I guarantee you. Just come and see how long that kufi stays on, man. I've heard the information, and some real heavy information. With that, give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 1. So today we're going to talk about, obviously, people outside the truth, how they treat you, how they're going to walk in and out of your life, and so forth. Because you don't do what they want you to do. The reason they cut you off is because you don't want to live how they want to live. You don't want to smoke weed no more. So what will happen is people that used to be tight with, because you don't want to go to parties and smoke weed no more, guess what's going to happen? They're going to stop dealing with you, man. They're going to start slandering your name. They're going to start saying you're weird. Listen, man, before this, there's a ton of people that I know now, but one time I seen a brother, man, he goes, "You know what? I saw such and such, and he said that you've gone crazy." like people look at us now and think that we've gone crazy and think that we've lost the plot until the salesman say, "Okay, I get what it is you're into." Some guy said, "You know what?" He said that someone told me you've gone crazy, that you're shouting on the side of the road. He thought I was one of those mental health patients, man. And that's how people speak about us, like, yeah, man, they're weird, they don't want to smoke weed no more. They're weird, they don't want hoes no more. Right. They're weird, they don't take drugs no more. I mean, what's weird about that, man? What's weird about not wanting to be a drug addict no more? What's weird about what's weird about serving God, man, and having respect for yourself, man? What's weird about knowing your worth, man? What's weird about that? Obviously, this world don't teach that, man. This world doesn't teach that a Hispanic man and a black man and black woman should know their worth. This world teaches us that we're worthless and that we should conform to society and that we should have sex with whatever feels good, and we should eat whatever looks nice. They teach us that we should do that, man. But God told us, no, we shouldn't do that. And then when we don't do that, guess what? We're looked at as weird, man. When we don't do that, we're looked at as strange and psycho, and these are mad. And why do you dress like that and whatnot? They look at us weird because we don't want to wear skinny jeans, man. Because we don't want to wear skinny jeans. I heard there's a thing, there's a pair of jeans called, what is it? Tight ankle jeans. Tight ankle jeans. Listen, they look at us weird because we don't want to wear ankle jeans, man. Have you seen them? Usually Esau wears them. What are they called? Biker what?
I don't know what's white was and
Yeah, some tight jeans on their ankle, man. Tight. You see their calf muscles all tight up in the ankle jeans, man. People look at us like we crazy because we don't want to wear that. And this world wants you to be like that. The way how we dress, they don't want us around them. You know why? Because they see it as we're cramping their style. They see it as if I have you next to me dressed like that, people's gonna think I'm in a coat like you're in a coat, and I'm crazy like you're crazy. But go ahead, read it for me. No, sir.
Cool. Ecclesiasticus 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord.
My son, if what?
Thou come to serve the Lord.
So this is step number one, man. If you come to serve the Lord, you come to get in this truth. Don't think it's going to be an easy walk. Don't think you're just going to come in here and, everything's going to be easy and all your problems is going to go away. Nah, man, it don't work like that, man. The Christian church teaches that it works like that. Oh, you just come to church and all your problems go away. No, man. People in church, they stay doing the wickedness that they was doing before, man. They stay doing whatever feels good to them, whatever feels nice. They don't sacrifice nothing. Being in church and in these fake Israelite groups, you don't have to sacrifice anything, man. But once you come through these doors in the I.S.U.P.K, you have to give up what you love, man. You have to give up what you used to doing. If your thing is what? Smoking a spliff before bedtime, you have to give up smoking that spliff before bedtime, man. You can no longer do that in these doors, man. You can no longer eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You can no longer want women of other nations. In here, you have to give up all those things, man. And this is why it's so hard to get in here. And this is why it's so easy to go anywhere else. This is why it's so easy to go to church, to go to mosque. Because in the mosque, you're still allowed to sell drugs, man. You're still allowed to sell all the drugs in the world, take all the drugs in the world. You're allowed to do all of that. But in here, you ain't allowed to do all of that, man. This is the narrow way. This is the narrow way, man. Whereas these other religious organizations, you can go there with your problems and still keep them problems, man. Still keep doing that wickedness that you're doing. And ain't nobody going to tell you that it's wrong. This is the only place where you find out what wrong is, man. Anybody else telling you something's wrong and right, don't take their word for it, man. Because they ain't authorized to tell you nothing, man. Only the priests and prophets in the I.S.U.P.K is authorized to tell you anything regarding the laws of God, man. Go ahead.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul for temptation, meaning what? Once you come into this truth, you're going to be tempted, man. You're going to be tempted to what? Pick up all the things that you was told to put down before you came in. While you was doing your 90 days and you was told, all right then, no more drugs, no more this, no more that. Once you come in, you're going to have flashbacks of how good that weed smells, man. You're going to have flashbacks of, you know what? That weed used to take away all my problems. It used to calm my nerves. Prepare your soul for temptation, man. When you're being tempted, don't give in to that temptation. You know what you do? You pick up the phone, man. You pick up the phone and get counsel. There's righteous brothers in here who will set you straight, man. But when you avoid the counsel and you refuse to pick up the phone, guess what's going to happen? You're just going to go back to your old life. You're just going to go pick up that spliff. All the time, before you do wrong, it pops in your mind. Should have called the school, and you just override it and say, nah, I'm not going to call the school. Listen, no matter, it's too small, man. So just pick up the phone. That's what the correspondent phone is there for. It's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, man. Any problems, you meant to call that phone, man. Is the number in the group? Is the number in the chat? The number's in the chat, man. Write down that number, man. Before you pick up that spliff, you better pick up that phone, man. Before you go to the strip club, you better pick up that phone, man. Pick up that phone, man, and phone the brother, man, and take the check-in. My brother will tell you, listen, man, you ain't going out the house, man. You ain't putting that branch to your nose, man. That's what our brother will tell you, man. Pick up the phone, man. Don't be weak and give in to every demon that attacks you, man. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright.
Do what?
Set thy heart aright.
Set thy heart aright. Go ahead.
And constantly endure.
And constantly endure, man. You're going to go through hard times. You're going to go through times when you feel like giving up. And guess what, man? When you feel like giving up, that's what brothers is there for, man. To lift you up. Like when Moses had to hold his hands out during that battle and his arms got tired, man. Moses' arms got tired. He couldn't hold his arms up no more. What happened? Moses' brothers came and stood at the side of him and held up his arms, man. Held his arms up, man. That's like you, man. When you're feeling weak like that, brothers is there to hold you up the same way brothers held up Moses, man. That's what we're here for, man. Go ahead.
And make not haste in the time of trouble.
And make not haste in the time of trouble. Because many people in the time of trouble do what? Leave the truth, man. Many people in the time of trouble do what? Don't want to pick up the phone. Don't want to get counsel. They want to lean to their own understanding. And then they ruin their own life and their family, man. In the time of trouble, go ahead.
Make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away.
Do what?
Cleave unto him and depart not away.
It says, cleave unto him and depart not away. Who's the him? The Lord, man. You serve God and stand with God, man. That's what you need to do. Cleave unto him, man. If you ain't going to cleave, honestly, if you ain't going to cleave unto God in times of trouble, you're going to have those times, you're going to be in that time of trouble for the rest of your life, man. You're going to be in that time of trouble until you're destroyed, until you've lost everything, man. I've seen people leave the school and I've seen their life go downhill, man. I've seen that firsthand, man. I've seen people come in here and fight their demons, and they're in a time of trouble. Guess what happens? Some of them leave the truth, man. And then in them leaving the truth, one problem leads to another problem. And then when you see them, they're looking old and stressed, and they've gone downhill, and they ain't the same as they was before. Listen, I've seen it happen. And things like that should make you cleave unto the Most High even. That should make you cleave even tighter, man. That should make you fight even more, because you don't want to be that person. Listen, you don't want to be that person that we see in the street on drugs saying, oh yeah, you see him. He used to come to the school, but obviously he didn't want to, he didn't want to fight. He gave in to his demons. You don't want to be that guy that's psychotic because of all the weed smoke he smoked, man. You don't want to be that guy where you listen. You don't want to be the guy whose story we're telling in class of why you shouldn't leave the truth, man. You don't want to be that guy whose story we're telling. Go ahead.
And depart not away, that thou mayest be increased in thy last end.
And don't depart, man, so that you may be increased in your last end, meaning what? That you may be raised up, man, stronger and better. And also, when you are going through hardship, the Bible says take it cheerfully, man. And also another thing, you see the hard stuff that you go through, it's good. You know why? Because once younger brothers come in, you can tell them about what you had to go through, man. You can tell them about the battles that you had to fight, the demons that you had to overcome. You can tell them stories for days, man. Listen, I remember the hardships, early days when it was just me, Officer Croft, and Officer Parash, the three of us doing camp, man, with no speaker, with 2 signs. Every week we would lose our voice, carrying that heavy camp equipment, just the 3 of us, man. And guess what? It's good that we went through that. So now that when younger men come in, we can tell them these stories, man. Right. We can tell them, I remember. We can tell them, you know what? I remember them days when it was just 3 brothers, man, and we was doing like 45 speakings. One of us was doing like an hour and a half speaking each, man. We were speaking for an hour and a half each, man. We can tell brothers these stories like, look, man, we had it rough. We can tell them about how we used to carry that podium with the camp chairs on top of it. And listen, that is heavy. Craft, tell them how heavy that is. Listen, we used to carry that podium with the camp chairs on it, and we used to have to take a break every minute. We used to have to pull it down every minute because it was that heavy, man. Say that again. And then pick it up again, man. That's how heavy that was. We go through these things so we can tell the younger men, look, man, this is what we had to do. And this is why Commanding General YAHANNA's got so many stories, man. And then also be like, damn, they did that back then. We go through these things so we can also tell these stories to the men that's going to come in here after us. Go ahead.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Whatever, say that again.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
The Bible says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, man. Take it cheerfully, man, because you know the Lord's with you, man. If the Lord is for us, who can be against us, man? That's what the Bible says, man. Take it cheerfully. You don't need to, cry and turn off your phone. You don't need to, be angry at the school. Like some people go through hardship and be angry at the school saying, oh, since I've been in here, my life's gone downhill. Listen, man, this ain't the Christian church where everything's going to be perfect, man. I can't promise you everything's going to be perfect, man. In church, they make all these empty promises to you that that's not true. Go ahead.
And be patient.
And be what?
Be patient.
And be what?
Be patient.
And that's the thing, man. Most people ain't patient. Now, these hard times ain't going to last forever. What the Bible says, be patient, man. Listen, you're losing your family members. Be patient, man. Your mom don't want to know you because you didn't come around for her 70th birthday party. Be patient, man. Listen, man, don't cry about it. Family are going to cut you off once you come into this truth. Once you stop going to their birthday parties. Because in the world, if you don't go to someone's birthday party once they've invited you, they take that as an offense, man. They're offended. They don't care about your beliefs. They don't care that you want to serve God. They just know, okay, you didn't come to my birthday party. Then the indirects start to come. Then all of a sudden it makes you fake. And then your family don't love you no more. And then your grandma's mad at you. How dare you not come to grandma's for Christmas? This could have been her last Christmas. That's what you hear, man. They like to beat you up and make you feel bad. This is your grandma's last Christmas and you didn't go around for Christmas. And then guess what? The rest of the world hears that and they're like, oh, you're such a horrible person. How did you not go around to grandma's and this is her last Christmas? And then what happens? You become that fake family member all the family members is talking about on Facebook. You click on your cousin's profile on Facebook, it says add friend because they've removed you off Facebook. You try to message them on WhatsApp, their picture's been taken down because they've blocked you. That's going to happen once you come into the truth, man. Understand it. People in the world don't understand, man. People in the world, they want to bully you into following what they believe. They can't respect your beliefs, but expect you to respect their beliefs. How about this? You don't respect my beliefs, and I'm not going to respect your beliefs. You do whatever you want, and let me do what God wants me to do, man. And we'll see who turns out better off in the end. Go ahead.
And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Be patient when thou art changed to a lower state, meaning what? You lose your job. Be patient, man. Don't be trying to pick up the old line that you used to sell drugs off, man. Don't be trying to what? Robbing everybody around you. Don't be trying to what? Scam everybody around you, man. Be patient when you've been changed to a lower state. Go ahead.
For gold is tried in the fire.
For gold is tried in the fire, meaning what? Gold is put through fire, man, and it's purified, and all the particles on it that's not needed and that's rubbish and no good, those get burnt off, man. Go ahead.
And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Now, how do you know someone? By when they go through adversity. I mean, if you're always up doing good, obviously your friends are going to be around, man. You find out who your friends are when you're in a low state, man. You find out who your friends are when you need to borrow £20, man. You find out who your friends are when you need money for petrol. You find out who your friends are when you need a place to stay for the night, man. You find out who your friends are when you need a pair of shoes, a jacket, a pair of socks. That's when you find out who your friends are. You don't find out who your friends are when you're rich like Floyd Mayweather, man. You don't find out who your friends are when you're on top of the world and you're living like Mayweather and you're living good. You're living like P. Diddy. You don't find out who your friends are, man. You don't find out who your friends are then. You know when you find out who your friends are? When you're when you're looking drugged out like Jaheim, man. That's when you find out who your friends are, man. When you're looking like Jaheim, man. That same woman he put first, man. He found out she don't love him now, man. He found out who his friends are, man. When you're in that lowest state, when you're living in and out of homeless, when you're moving in and out of homeless shelters, that's when you find out who your friends are. You don't find out who your friends are when you got all the money in the world. Nah, man. You find out who you find out who you are yourself when you're going through adversity. Because what do men do? Desperate measures. Men will be desperate. Men will do desperate things. A man will do desperate things for desperate measures, man. A man will sell drugs to his mom for a bit of money, man. A man will rob his grandma, man, for that bit of money, man.
Right.
Listen, how do I know a man will rob his grandma, man? Because my uncle used to rob my grandma all the time, man. So lucky, my grandma used to always be. Listen, with my grandma, she was old at this stage. Sight went blurry. She used to send my uncle to the cash point. You know what he used to do? He used to take out £50 first for himself. Then he would put his card in, take out money for her, then print the receipt, man. Until one day my grandma was like, hold on, I had more money than this. Listen, man, people in the world treat you like garbage and there's no loyalty, man. If someone ain't even got loyalty to their mother, if someone ain't even got loyalty to their own mom, what makes you think this friend's gonna have loyalty to you, man? Right. If they ain't even got loyalty to the Lord, what makes you think they're gonna be loyal to you? Right. They will rob you, man. They will steal from you blindly. These are the same kind of people that rob money out of their mom's purse, man. Instead of asking, they rob their own mom. If a man will rob his mom when he's desperate, what do you think he's going to do to you? Go ahead. Go ahead. Exactly. Exactly. Nobody don't want to go jail for you. You commit a crime with a man and they say to him, you know what? You wasn't the shooter. Just tell us who the shooter was. They're going to say who the shooter was, man. Because they ain't got no loyalty to you. They would rather be out here partying with all the bottles. You think they're going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and ride this bird because of dignity and honor. They don't care about dignity and honor, man. Dignity and honor does not exist in the world. It don't exist in the world, man. And this is why friends set up friends to get robbed. In the UPK, listen, you think we ain't never going to set up nobody, man. You think we're going to set up another brother to get robbed? You think we're going to set up a brother to get harmed? No, man. Because in here, we have honor and dignity, whereas you can't find this outside of these doors. Go ahead.
God. Believe in him and he will help thee.
Do what?
Believe in him and he will help thee.
And guess what? Once you're going through your time of trouble and you choose to drop your sword and leave the truth, that shows that you really don't believe in him, man. That shows you really don't believe in God. That shows you really didn't believe in Christ. You know what that shows? That you was just here because, you thought it was just nice and whatnot. You thought it was just all nice and sweet like the Christian church. It shows you didn't believe in him. Once you're going through adversity, that shows how much you believe in God, man. If you cleave to him and hold tight. Go ahead.
Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy.
Ye that what?
Fear the Lord. Wait for his mercy.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, man. Because one day the Lord's going to have mercy on you, man. You know a man who feared the Lord? Job feared the Lord, man. Job's wife was telling him, curse God and die, man. Job's friends was telling him, curse God. And what did Job say? Man, I'm not going to do that, man. Job said, I'm not going to do that, man. Job feared God, man. Job said, well, God gave me all them riches and God's got the right to take those all away, man. Job took it cheerfully, man. Job dealt with his battle correct, man. Job's story in the Bible should be an example for every black and Hispanic man. That no matter what you're going through, you can overcome it. No matter what you're going through, you have to fight it, man. Look at the story of Job, man. That whole story represents the nation of Israel, man. Right. Job started off rich, wealthy. He lost it all and was going through some hard times, man. That sounds like what's happening to us right now, man. We was rich and had it all, lost it, and now we're going through some hard times, man. Job's story is a black man's story, man. Because Job's a black man, man. Go ahead.
And go not aside, lest ye fall.
It says, go not aside, lest ye fall. And people that leave the truth, they go aside, man, and they fall. And then you see them 5 years down the line, and they're out their mind, man. They're out their mind, man. They pretend they're happy, but really they're not happy. They try to show you how much they're happy, but really they're not happy, man. Really, they're upset, man. Whereas they had brothers they could call before. Now they've left the truth. Who can they rely on? Nobody now. Their phone no longer rings. They're in their house now, bored. Whereas brothers would hit them up saying, yo, come, let's do this, let's do that. Now they're not in contact with nobody. They're in their house, miserable, making out like their life's fun when really they're bitter and they hate every second of their life, man. Go ahead.
Ye that fear the Lord, believe him.
Ye that what?
Believe the Lord. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him.
Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, man. That's step number one. You have to fear the Lord, man. The Lord ain't nothing to play with. When he came down to give them commandments, man, he came down and it said, you know how the Lord came down in style, man, with thunder and lightnings, man. came down with thunder and lightnings and loud noises and the mountains shaking and whatnot. The Lord done all of that so you would fear him, man. The Lord done all of that to show his power, to show you, yo, don't disobey me, man. Just fear me and keep my commandments. The Lord came down like that, man. He didn't come down in tight ankle jeans, man. He didn't come down in tight ankle jeans and all of those things. That's Christianity, man. The Lord came down with quakings and burnt up the mountains, man. So you would see that and be like, oh, I don't want to cross him, man. You would see that and be like, I don't want to break his law, statutes, and commandments. That's why he came down that way. Go ahead.
And your reward shall not fail.
And what?
Your reward shall not fail.
Your reward shall not fail. And the Lord is loyal, man. Your reward ain't going to fail. Now, trusting in people in the world, man. Trusting in your cousins and your brother and those kind of people. Your reward will fail, man. Because listen, they can't even keep a promise to themselves, man. They can't keep an oath to themselves. So how are they supposed to keep an oath to you? How are they supposed to keep an oath to you and a promise to you when they can't even keep one to themselves? Listen, man, stop putting your trust in unofficial people, man. Stop putting your trust in unfaithful men. Drop that. Give me Joshua chapter 1 and verse 9. We've been putting our trust in unfaithful men for too long. Your pastor's unfaithful. Your mom's unfaithful. Salakia. Your dad's unfaithful. Salakia. Obviously, love them same way. Love them. But understand that you putting your trust in them, obviously they're going to fail you, man. Chapter 1 and verse 9. Understand that they're going to fail you, man. I'm just telling you, I mean, because you're going to find out one day. You're going to find out that they're going to let you down one day. Go ahead.
Joshua 1 and 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong.
Have not I what?
Commanded thee. Be strong.
Joshua commanded us to be strong, man. Go ahead.
Of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed.
Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, man. You don't need to be afraid or dismayed, man. You're going through some hard times, man. Pick up the phone. That's what the phone is there for, man. That's what the phone is there for, man. For you to pick up the phone and call for counsel. You ain't supposed to sit in your house and work out how you're going to do this by yourself. Listen, man. The Lord gave us this brotherhood, and that's why you pick up the phone, man. The Lord gave us this brotherhood. We're meant to help one another out, man. You ain't supposed to sit there on your own and think, oh, I'm going through this fight on my own. You're not fighting on your own, man. Pick up the phone and we'll be there fighting with you, man. We will be there fighting with you, man. You don't have to walk this walk on your own. We're one body, man. If one man's going through something, all of us in the U.P.K. is going through it, man. We ain't like people in the world that's just going to be like, oh, wow, that's his problem. If one of us is homeless, all of us is homeless, man. Right. If one of us is hungry, all of us is hungry, man. We ain't like those people that's just going to say, well, this is my plate. You can be hungry over there. The Lord gave us brotherhood, man. And this is what sets us apart from the rest of the world, man. The Lord gave us this brotherhood, man. And we demonstrate this brotherhood every single day, man. And that's why you need to pick up the phone when you're going through problems. Pick up the phone, man. I'm going to keep saying it because obviously, because most people do what? Start to not pick up the phone, not call for counsel, and then them demons take over their head. Them demons take over their head, man. Especially our sisters, man. You see it by how they type on Facebook, man. Put all their emotions all over the internet. All that, listen, all that time you wrote that long paragraph on the internet about how nobody loves you and how nobody cares. You could have just banged in 11 digits on your phone and spoke to a brother, man, and got counsel, man. You didn't have to run to Facebook. You don't have to run to Instagram. You don't have to run to the internet, man. Attention seeking on the internet. Pick up the phone for counsel, man. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God is with thee.
For what?
The Lord thy God is with thee.
The Lord thy God is with thee, man. Now, the Lord's with you, but do you physically see the Lord? No. But how do you see the Lord? By the brothers that He gave you, man. That's how you know the Lord's with you, man. By you picking up that phone and calling for counsel and a brother being on the other line, man. The words that He's telling you, those words is direct from the Lord, man. But obviously you picking up the phone, talking to your cousin that's not even in the truth, man. Talking to your cousin that's in the world. Talking to your auntie that's in the world. and she's saying, "Oh, don't worry, come around for Christmas." That's all she says. Come around for Christmas. That will make you feel better. Listen, man, that's a damn lie, man. You're phoning the wrong people in your time of tribulation. You're picking up the phone to the wrong people. You're picking up the phone to people who tell you to do something they wouldn't even do themselves. If you're a woman, you're picking up the phone to other women. These other women's telling you what? I'll leave you, man. Like you're picking up the phone to Beyonce, man, and Beyonce's telling you tell him to the left. Meanwhile, Beyonce's getting cuddles from Jay-Z right now while it's 4 degrees, man, and you're there with the flu, cuddling your pillow. You're there with the flu, cuddling your pillow all alone, in your feelings, listening to Ashanti, Foolish, listening to every song that makes you cry. Meanwhile, these women that you're phoning for advice, they're wrapped up with a man. They're wrapped. So let's go ahead. She's with who? Is she with him now? Come on. Get me Ashanti with Nelly, man. Who's talking about it's hot in there and he wants to take off all his clothes and what? It's so hot in there. Nelly wants to take his clothes off, man. Meanwhile, you're home and cold alone, man. Because what? You picked up the phone to the wrong person. You're talking about, oh, my man cheated on me, and your friends are saying leave him, is no good. You can find somebody better. Or now you ain't found nobody better, man. Because what? You're listening to your friends who ain't qualified to give you advice. Who ain't qualified to give you advice on anything, man. You're picking up the phone to the wrong people, man. And that's why your relationship don't work. That's why your kids ain't listening to you. This is why your kids are shooting up the block in the ghettos. Because you're listening to your pastor, man. That's telling you send them to church. Telling you send them to church. Church ain't the place to send your kids, man. Or that molestation that takes place in there. You should be taking them away from the church, man. Right. Sending them to church. Go ahead. Give me Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 19, actually. Taking advice from the wrong people could what? Ruin your whole life, man. Taking advice from the wrong people could ruin your whole life. Taking advice from listen, you're taking relationship advice from somebody that's been in 50 failed relationships, man. What makes you think they're gonna make your relationship work? And they've been in 50 failed relationships. You're taking advice from the wrong people. Take advice from the priests and prophets of the Lord, man. Right. That's what the Lord put us here for, man. To be priests and prophets, man. To answer your calls, man. No matter what the time of the night is, man. Go ahead.
Confidence is an unlawful man in time of trouble.
Confidence is what?
Confidence in an unlawful man.
Does it unfaithful? Go ahead.
Confidence in an unfaithful man.
And listen, man. You're putting confidence in an unfaithful man. You're putting confidence in a man that don't even have no loyalties to himself, man. You're putting confidence in a man that don't even love himself, man. How you expect him to love you? You're putting confidence in a man that robs, steals, murders, does all manner of wickedness. You're putting confidence in a man that runs a Christian church and hustles everybody out of their money, man. You're putting confidence in an unfaithful man. That's an unfaithful man. You're expecting to get advice and the truth and everything from an unfaithful man. You know, it's not going to happen. Go ahead.
In a time of trouble, it's like a broken tooth.
It's like a what?
A broken tooth.
You put in trust in an unfaithful man in time of trouble. You're going to be pained, man. It's like a broken tooth. Go ahead.
And a foot out of joint.
And a foot out of joint, man. That's what it's like, man. A broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Meaning what? You're just going to harm yourself, man. Listening to the wrong person is self-harming, man. It's self-harming. You're taking advice from a weed addict. Listen, there was one of these Birmingham rappers, I can't remember his name, one of these Birmingham rappers that all he does is smokes weed, man. On one of these shows talking about what? Remember when he was talking about the young brothers that's shooting up the blocks need to be killed. Can you remember he was talking about they need to be killed? Yeah. All he does is smokes weed for a living. He's talking about they need to be killed. What about himself, man? Don't he need to be killed if that's the case? How about this? None of us need to be killed. We all need to be fixed, man. That's right. We don't need to be killed, man. We need to be fixed. Right. And in the I.S.U.P.K, that is our job to fix black and Hispanic men, man. That's our job to fix our brothers. We don't want you to die. We want to fix you, man. We want you to know what true brotherhood's like. We don't want you dead. I mean, how does you being dead solve the problem, man? What's going to happen is a ton of other brothers is going to come up doing the same thing you do. What, are they meant to die too? No, man. We need to fix our nation. So what? We can be a nation of righteous kings and priests. Go ahead.
As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather.
That's it. Give me Matthew chapter 5 and verse 43. Don't put your trust in them. Now, does that mean does that mean you can't love them? No, it don't mean that, man. Of course, you must love your family members, your aunties, your uncles, your friends. Love them same way, man. But understand, once you come into the truth, things ain't going to be the same. They're going to slander you. They're going to talk down on your name. Your parents are going to tell you you've gone crazy. Because what happens is, first when you come to the truth, you can't stop talking about it. You're telling your whole family and you expect them to see what you see, man. And they don't see what you see. Imagine telling your grandma for the first time, Mary and Joseph had sex. Listen, your grandma is going to rebuke you in the name of everything, man. Your grandma is like they like to say, your grandma is going to rebuke you in the name of everything. Your aunties and uncles is going to look at you crazy. You telling them Jesus Christ is a black man. They're going to look at you like you're insane, man. They're going to look at you like you're insane. Go ahead.
You have heard that it have been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Says, you have heard that it have been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor. Go ahead. And hate thine enemy. Christ is quoting the Old Testament. Go ahead.
But I say unto you, love your enemies.
I say unto you what?
Love your enemies.
Said unto you, love your enemies, man. This is talking about your enemies of Israel. That's what it's talking about. Ain't talking about this man that's putting a yoke of iron upon you and all of those things. It's talking about love your enemies of Israel. Go ahead.
Bless them that curse you.
Do what?
Bless them that curse you.
That's what we do in the UPK, man. They curse us and we bless them, man. They curse us. People that can't be shouting, F you, we hate you, you liars, you this, you that. And we pray that the Lord's with them, man. We pray that the Lord be with them, man. Even in our prayers, man. We want the Lord to open their eyes, man. We bless them. We don't go and put curses on our people, man. We don't go and say we want them to die. We don't go and say that, man. We pray for them. You know why? Because once upon a time, we was lost also. And someone prayed for us, man. And whoever prayed for us, which one of the righteous brothers prayed for us? The Lord heard it and said, all right, I'm going to open their eyes to this truth, man. Once upon a time, we weren't sitting here. Once upon a time, we was where? Selling drugs, and we couldn't wait forward to the winter. You know why? Because in the winter, you can sell drugs in peace because it gets dark at what, 4 o'clock? It gets dark at 4 o'clock. You could sell all the drugs in the world in peace because it's dark and police are less likely to stop you and whatnot. We used to love the winter, man. But now we don't sell drugs no more, man. We don't smoke drugs. We don't shoot no one. We don't attack no one and so forth. Go ahead.
Do good to them that hate you.
Do what?
Do good to them that hate you.
Do good to them that hate you. Now, does this mean you must be a pushover? No, it don't mean that, man. Does this mean what? Those people that hate you, you must give them your last pound. No, it don't, man. It don't mean that, man. Go ahead.
God, bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them that despitefully use you.
Now, listen, man. Everybody uses us. Everybody tries to use us. People that's not in the school, that's never paid their tithes, never helped with anything, never donated anything, never even shared a video on their Facebook page. As soon as they want their rent paid, the phone commanding General YAHANNA, man. They use us, man. People out there use us, man. They use us for what they can get. They phone the school. I mean, people phone the school and think we're just giving away free money. People think they're just going to phone the school and you're just going to get free money in your hand. Nah, man. They try to despitefully use us. They use us, you know why? Because they see our good nature, man. They see that we love our enemies of Israel, man. They see that we bless those that curse us. They see that we do good unto those that hate us. So they try to despitefully use us. Go ahead.
And persecute you.
And what?
Persecute you.
Listen, man, they persecute us, man. They persecute us. They say all manner of evil about us. They say what? They say what? I.S.U.P.K beat their wives and whatnot. That's what they say. People say that we beat our wives, man. Listen, you can ask my wife, has she ever been beat by me? Nah, man. You can ask her, man. I can get her on the phone and loudspeaker right now, man. People lie, say, oh, we beat our wives. Listen, in the I.S.U.P.K, we love our wives, man. Exactly, exactly. In the I.S.U.P.K, we love our wives, man. We don't beat up our wives, man. That's a damn lie. Oh, we beat our wives up. We do this, we do that. Nah, man. In here, we love our wives, man. We correct our wives when they go off, man. We treat our wives good. When our wives do good, they what? They're rewarded, man. People make it like our wives are just what? Locked up in the house and they get beaten up and they're covered in bruises and under their headscarf they got a bruise on their forehead, and people lie and say, oh, we attack. That's a damn lie, man. Don't nobody love their wives more than us in the I.S.U.P.K, man. We love our wives so much that we don't let them go out just like sluts like people do let their wives in the world, man. That's how much we love our wives, that we take care of their body, man. We tell them, no, you're not going out dressed like that, man. People say that we what? Controlling. People call it controlling. You're dominant. Like, this world wants a black man to have a woman and allow her to be everybody else's woman. No, man. That woman is only our woman, man. And however we want to run our house is how we're going to run our house, man. We don't want her dressing in no miniskirts. You know why? Because we don't want our wife looked at as some sex symbol. We love our wife that much that we make sure she's covered up, man. It's those people in the world that beat up their wives, man. It's those people in the world that don't love their wife. And that's why they make her go out dressed like that. They make her go to the club with her thong showing, man. Every man knows what color a thong is, man. Every man knows what color a bra is, man. You know why? Because that man doesn't love his wife, man. Whereas in here, we love our wives, man. Our wives got them thick fabrics, man. Our wives got them thick fabrics on, man. Where you can't see a damn thing, man. Because we love our wives in here. Go ahead.
That ye may be children of your Father which is in heaven.
And listen, man. We need to do these things so that we may be children of our Father that is in heaven. We need to be perfect, man. We need to do what? We need to be what? Better than the average man. Because the normal man does what? Hates his enemies, man. The average man does what? Curses them that curses him. The Lord wants us to be perfect like our Father in heaven, man. So we have to be better than that. We can't hate our brothers. We have to be perfect and better than that. Go ahead.
For he maketh the sun to rise on evil and on the good.
And it also makes the sun to rise on the evil and on the good. This is talking about, the Lord's so perfect that even on the evil, they get sunshine also, man. Go ahead. The evil and the good both get sunshine, man. Go ahead.
And he sendeth rain on the just and the unjust.
And he sends rain on the just and the unjust, man. And basically, this is the Lord saying what? He wants us to be perfect, like how the Lord's perfect. Like what? With the just and the unjust, the Lord gives both of them rain, man. With the just and the unjust, the Lord gives both of them sunshine, man. Go ahead.
For if you love them which love you, what reward have ye?
It says, if you love them that love you, what reward have ye? You don't have no reward for doing that. I mean, it's normal that obviously you love people that love you. People in the world do that all day long, man. Go ahead.
And if you salute your brethren, do not even publicans do the same? And if you salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others?
It says, if you salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Meaning you have to do more than that. Go ahead.
Do not even the publicans so? So be ye perfect.
Says what?
Be ye perfect.
We have to be better than everybody else, man. We have to be ye perfect, man. Give me a 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 10.
Second Peter 2 and 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh, in the lust of uncleanness.
Them that walk after the flesh, people outside of the truth, that don't walk in the spirit. Go ahead.
And despise government.
And what?
despise government,
They despise governments. They despise leadership, rulership, and whatnot. Go ahead.
presumptuous are they, self-willed,
The self-willed, man. The self-willed. People outside of this truth, they do whatever they want, man. They do whatever they want. So why are you expecting loyalty from them? It's not going to happen, man. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's not going to happen. Go ahead.
they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities.
They're what?
Not afraid to speak evil of dignities.
They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. What's the dignity? A man of high rank, a man of high position and honor, man. The priest and prophet of the Lord are dignities, man. They speak evil of dignities. They speak evil of us, man. People telling lies on us, man. People saying, oh, them in the U.P.K, they're thieves, the liars, the this, the that. You're speaking evil of dignities, man. You're misusing God's prophets, man. You're telling lies on God's prophets. Because we look so rough. People think, oh, we're just aggressive and violent. They speak evil of dignities. We dignities in here, man. Commanding General YAHANNA's a dignity, man. General Hyman's a dignity. All the priests and prophets of the Lord are dignities. And people speak evil of dignities. You need to watch your mouth when you're talking about God's prophets, man. You need to watch your mouth, man. You have to watch your mouth because, I mean, the Lord don't take that lightly, man. I mean, in the scriptures, some kids mocked Elisha, man. Some kid, if that's how you pronounce it, some kids mocked him, man. They mocked him, called him a bald head and whatnot. He just come from, Elijah just got taken up in the book of Kings. It's in the book of 2 Kings somewhere. Elijah just got taken up, man. So obviously he's upset because, you know, Elijah's his brother and he loves Elijah and he knows he's not going to see him again. So he's walking and these kids are mocking him, man, calling him a bald head, mocking a prophet of God. And listen, man, 2 she-bears came and ate up 40. It says 40 and 2, right? 2 she-bears came and ate up 40 and 2 of them kids, man. Which lets you know the Lord ain't playing no games when you mock his prophets. Be careful when you mock the prophets. Now, we don't want no harm to happen to you, but the Lord don't play about his prophets, man. You mocking us. To you, it's a joke, man. To you, it's like, look how big his boots are. To you, that's what they say. To you, it's like, look how big his jeans are with them things, dangling things on the side. To you, it's a joke and it's funny and it's a bit of banter. Look how big his boots are. He's a size 9, but his boots are size 12. Yeah, it's all jokes to you. Look at him with his combats tucked in his jeans. Look at him. Look at him with sunglasses on at 7 p.m. and it's winter and it's pitch black. It's a joke to people. But the Lord don't joke about his prophets. It sounds funny to you and it's banter and you think you're a comedian and you think you're going to be the next Dave Chappelle and you think you're going to be the next Kevin Hart. Listen, man, mocking the Lord's prophets, you can be those next 42 children that got ate up by that she-bear, man. That's all you're going to be, man. You ain't going to be no Dave Chappelle. You ain't going to be no Kevin Hart. You ain't going to be no, whatever his name. What's his name again? What's his name? I think he's dead now. I know. What's his name? What's his name? That black one, something Behrman, something. Bernie Mac. You ain't gonna be. Listen, you ain't gonna be the next Bernie Mac. The joke that you're saying, we've heard it before. We've heard it before, man. Oh, you like dressed like Power Rangers. Listen, man, we've heard it before, man. If you've watched the Power Rangers, we don't even dress like that. What are you on about, man? Oh, you look like Raphael from Ninja Turtle. Listen, man, I've heard it all. I wake up to messages on my Facebook saying you look like a Ninja Turtle. If I do look like a Ninja Turtle, I'll be Raphael. So lucky I go and read on it. I don't mind me Raphael if I'm a Ninja Turtle. Go ahead.
Whereas angels, which are greater in power.
Actually, drop that. Give me 2 Chronicles 36 and verse 15. Listen, man, all these jokes that people like to make, time's short. Time's not the time to be joking, man. All this madness happening all throughout the earth, man. I mean, you're making fun of these very same black men that's going to rule the earth. These black men that you're meant to pick up the phone to. These black men that's going to run the earth. You're making fun of them. It sounds pretty backwards to me. People also made fun of the prophets back in the scriptures. Go ahead.
Anyone's funny. The Muslims are crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Look, you're doing pride, yeah? This is black men walking in the bra, but that's the way she laughing.
Exactly. And
just properly.
Exactly.
You know, we don't gay.
Exactly.
We love us.
Exactly. People always want to laugh and mock us, man, thinking it's a joke and it's a game. Meanwhile, a man can walk around in heels, man. A man can walk around in heels with a nail varnish on, man. A man can paint his toenails, man, and nobody batters an eyelid. But we want to walk around with our boots on, man, and everyone wants to mock us and laugh and think it's a joke. People misuse the prophet also in the scriptures. Go ahead.
2 Chronicles 36 and 15. And the Lord God of their fathers sent them by his messengers.
The Lord did what?
Sent to them by his messengers.
Listen, man, the Lord sent to the people messengers. In 2019, also almost 2020, the Lord sending to the people messengers, man. What do you think we're doing when we're at camp? We those messengers the Lord sending, man. What do you think these classes is about, man? The Lord sending us to the people. We ain't just doing this because, we ain't just doing this class for our sake. I mean, if that was the case, we would, turn off the TV and turn off the laptop. We know what we're talking about. This ain't for us. We doing what the Lord sent us to do, man. People mocking us when we doing the work of the Lord. Go ahead.
Rising up betimes.
Rising up betimes. Betimes is old English for before. Go ahead.
And sending, because he had compassion on his people.
And he did what?
Had compassion on his people.
And listen, man, the Lord sending prophets in the I.S.U.P.K because he has compassion on his people, man. And because the Lord's having compassion on you, he's sending his prophets, and the same people he's got compassion on, you're mocking the people that he's sent to save you, man. How backwards does that sound? The Lord's having mercy on you and feeling sorry for you and sends prophets, man. And then you're mocking the people that he's sending you. How can you be mocking anyone meanwhile you're in slavery, man? Meanwhile, you're working a 9 to 5, and your manager that you can just squash his head like that. You're scared of him, man, because you need that rent paid, man. You got this little scrawny Edomite telling you what time you call this, and you're not taking no more holidays, and you're not having this day off, and you have to knock on his door and wait outside his office and say, "Oh, can I have this day off? Because I want to take my family here." And listen, man, and you're mocking the very same people that's meant to save you out of that situation, man. You're mocking the black man that's meant to save you from dying from a drug overdose, from being the next knife victim. You're mocking these people, man. It's backwards, man. Go ahead.
And on his dwelling place, but they mocked the message.
But they did what?
They mocked the
Listen, man.
of God.
This ain't nothing new. Mocking the prophets of God ain't nothing new, man. It's nothing new, man. When people mock us, it lets us know that we're the prophets of God, man. It verifies for me that we're the true prophets of God, man. And you know what a funny thing as well is? These fake Israelite groups even mock the way we dress, man, which lets you know that they ain't no prophets of God, man. They would rather dress like Esau. They'd rather do camp in beach shorts. I seen one of them in beach shorts, man. You go swimming in them shorts. He's doing camp in them shorts, man. I seen one of them doing camp in beach shorts, holding his signs like this with a saxophone, man. Speaking for a saxophone, thinking he's a prophet of God. He ain't no prophet of God, man. Just by looking at them, it should let you know that they ain't no prophets of God, man. Thinking he's so deep on the street with a saxophone. Listen, I seen another fake Israelite, man, when the Bible says what? The Bible says, blow ye the trumpet. I seen a fake Israelite actually blowing a trumpet, man. He actually had a trumpet and was blowing a trumpet. No word of a lie. He was in Brixton. He was walking around with this. I seen him in Brixton blow the trumpet like this, like, how have you blow it? I seen him, man. I looked at him and said, my gosh. That's all I could say. He actually picked up a trumpet and he believes blow you the trumpet means that. You don't mean that, man. We blow the trumpet every time we're at camp, man. Meaning we raise our voice like a trumpet, man. That's what it's talking about. Ain't talking about literally walking around with a trumpet, man. And this is why you need to be in the I.S.U.P.K to understand the scriptures, or you're just going to go off. You're going to take everything literal. You're going to believe the mark of the beast is a microchip. You're going to start saying, because, yeah, when you look at the word mark, it means etching. Also, if you look at the word beast, it means what? Why don't you look at what the word beast means also? Listen, man, the word Revelations is what? It's a spiritual book, man. And the way people talk, now, you're going into the Strongs, looking at what the word mark means and what the word beast means. Listen, man, if you understood how black people talk, you'd understand that the Strongs ain't prophecy, man. The Strongs, people think they're a prophet because they got a Strongs, man. Go ahead.
Like today, you see two black men talking, you can't put the dictionary out of them.
Exactly.
Will it make sense? I'm like, yeah, talk to my whip. You look at it.
Exactly.
You confused.
You be confused.
What are you doing?
Exactly. That's what you'll do, man. When you read the book of Revelations, man, you're confused. You look, you're reading it and you're looking at words, man, thinking that's what it means. No, man. You need to be an I.S.U.P.K to understand it, man. The Bible's a black man's book, and black men speak different to everybody else. You get me? It's like, obviously, if a brother says to me, yo, what was that event saying? And I say, yo, the event was dead. Obviously, that's how black people talk, man. So a brother was like in England, how a brother refers to a woman that's not very good looking to say she's dead. Does it mean she's lifeless? And does it mean she's lifeless and she's not breathing? When a brother says, oh yeah, that girl's dead, it just means she's ugly or mud. Like when a brother says, she's mud. Look up the word mud. You need to understand how black people talk, man. Or a brother will say, how we say a woman's good looking over here, we say she's fire. Does it mean she's on fire? Does it mean she's burning up like the woman in Terminator? No, man. We say she's fire, meaning what? She's good looking, man. She's hot. Well, now listen. If I see a woman outside today that's good looking, then I say she's hot. In 1,000 years down the line, some white man will pick up the records and he's going to say, well, it was November and Damgabar said she's hot. But when you look at the forecast in November, it's 2 degrees and it's not hot in 2 degrees. So how could she have been hot? She must have been, that's how Esau reads the Bible, and this is why they think it's not true and they believe everything contradicts. They just don't understand it, man. You need to understand how black people talk to understand the Bible. But yeah, my tangent's over now. Give me Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 33. Actually, did you finish reading that? Go ahead.
And mocked the messengers of God.
And what?
Mocked the messengers of God.
And mocked the messengers of God. People always is mocking the messengers of God, man. Stop mocking the messengers of God. Every day, listen, you see when we go to camp, there's always some lunatic in the crowd mocking the messengers of God. I seen one man that was drunk could barely stand straight mocking us. Even a man who's drunk can barely stand up straight. He's drunk at 2 p.m. during the day, mocking us. Don't make no sense, man. Go ahead.
And despise his words.
And what?
Despise his words.
Listen, man, they despise the words of God. Till this day, they despise the words of God. They hate God, man. They despise everything God says, man. And go ahead.
And misuse his prophets.
And what?
Misuse his prophets.
They misused his prophets, man. Back then, they killed the prophets and misused them and whatnot. This is what they do, man. They like to misuse God's prophets. If they can't even honor God, what makes you think they're going to honor you, man? If they've got no loyalty to God, they're not going to have no loyalty to you, man. Give me Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 33. Only a prophet of God understands what it means to be misused, man. People use you for every occasion. This is what people do. They're going through hard times. Listen, you see someone that that never calls and couldn't care less about the school. They're going through trouble. What do? Your phone rings. Oh, I need you to pray for me. I need this. I need that. Listen, man. There's one sister that used to always misuse the school, man. She used to always misuse the school, man. Whenever there's some issue, the school gets a call. When everything's fine and perfect, people distance themselves from the school, man. You think we don't see it? Come on, man. Listen, we ain't silly, man. People misuse the prophets, man. You think we don't know?
You got to do feast day prayers as well, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. People misuse the prophets of God, man. You think we don't see? Listen, man. We got eyes, man. We know what you're all about. We know you're just using us. We know you're just calling us because you're falling on hard times. We know that when things is going good and when you go in Drayton Manor and whatnot, we know you're not going to give us an invite. We know you're not going to give us an invite when you go in Drayton Manor and whatnot. We know you ain't going to give us an invite when you're throwing a barbecue and when you got a family cookout. We know you're not going to give us an invite. But as soon as one of your loved ones is going through something, as soon as one of your loved ones is in hospital, can you come to the hospital and pray for them? Can you do this? Can you do that? What scripture should I read? My auntie's got cancer. What scripture should I read to her? You've heard that one before, right? My auntie's got cancer. What scripture should I read to her? You should have been telling her. You should have been telling her get to class and put down them cigarettes from when we was telling you 5 years ago. What scriptures can I read to her? You should have been telling her don't be a crackhead. You should have been telling her that 10 years ago, man. When you should have been telling her. But now she's ill. Now you're ill. You want to pick up the phone. What scriptures should I read? Listen, man. You should have just came to class when you had the chance 5 years ago, man. Before you was in that bedridden with diseases, man. You should have came to class, man. You should have came to class and sat down in one of these chairs and listened to the priests and prophets, and you wouldn't have smoked until your lungs went black, man. You wouldn't have smoked cigarettes until now your lungs is black, man. To now you have to sit down with an oxygen mask on your face. To now you can barely breathe. To now you got that smoker's cough that don't go away. To now you're riddled with heart disease and so forth, and high blood pressure from all the pork you've been eating. Oh, what scriptures can my uncle read? Your uncle should have put down pork from when we told him. Your uncle should have listened to the prophets when we told him this 10 years ago, when he walked and scoffed at the camp, when he walked and laughed and heckled the prophets, when he made a mockery out of us. And then guess who you come to later on in life? Them same people that you mocked, them same people that you laughed at, them same people that you ill-treated, man. Them same people that you misused. You have to come before them and humble yourself, man. You have to come before them and humble yourself and apologize and whatnot. Go ahead.
Proverbs 15.
I'm 33.
15:33. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom.
The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom. If you fear the Lord, that's wise. It's a wise thing to fear the Lord, man. Because you fear him so much, you ain't going to break his commandments, man. The Lord ain't like European Jesus, man. The Lord ain't like white Jesus, man. That's coming back to kiss and hug you and, coming back with baby angels with arrows and nappies on. Listen, Jesus ain't like white Jesus that's going to be changing babies' nappies with arrows and all of that nonsense. The Bible's not like that, man. That's all mythical. Go ahead.
And before honor is humility.
Before what?
Honor is humility.
Before honor is humility, man. You need to have humility before you get honor, man. What's humility? Not thinking highly of yourself. Not thinking you're better than others, man. You need to have humility, man. That's one we have in the truth is humility. You need to be humble, man, and have humility. Moses was humble and had humility, and then came the honor, man. You don't want to be a proud bastard, excuse my French, man. You don't want to be proud thinking you're better than everybody else. You don't want to be proud like some of these fake Israelites that we see talking about Israelites deserve to die. Listen, man, our job is to save blacks and Hispanics, man. We don't want our brothers to die. How about this? We want all of them to live righteously, man. That's what we want, man. We want every black man not to smoke drugs, man. We want every black man not to eat pork. We want every black woman not to be a whore, man. We want every black woman to be a whore no more, man. We want every black woman to keep their legs closed and only open them to their husbands, man. We don't want our women opening their legs to any man that buys them a drink at the bar. We don't want our sisters opening their legs to any man that just tells them anything, any man that gives them a lift home, any man that buys them that new chicken burger from Popeyes, because apparently those are rare to get. We don't want our women doing that, man. Go ahead. That's it on that. Give me a Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 21. Our people need to learn humility, man. Humility, man. Learn to be humble, man, instead of this proud, haughty spirit. Go ahead.
He that followeth after the righteous and mercy findeth life.
He that what?
Followeth after the righteousness and mercy findeth life.
He that followeth the righteousness and mercy findeth life, man. This man's life is going to be good. The Lord's going to prolong his days, man, because he's following after righteousness, meaning he ain't going to be smoking drugs. He ain't going to be sinning. He ain't going to be doing no manner of wickedness. Go ahead.
Righteousness and honor.
Righteousness and honor. He's going to get righteousness and honor, man. And listen, all those people that don't respect us now, the day is coming when you're going to have to respect us, man. The day is coming when you're going to have to respect us, man. Once you see Jesus Christ is black, you're gonna have to respect us, man. Them 144,000 government. Listen, you're gonna have to respect us, man. All these other nations that don't respect a black man. The day is coming when you're gonna have to respect us, man. You're gonna be forced to respect us one way or the other. These same black men that you looked at as lowly and as on drugs, you're gonna have to respect us, man. Listen, we love all Israel, man. Listen, I don't care if you're a black man I don't care if you're a homeless black man dressed in a homeless attire and every teeth missing except one. You're still more precious to me than the richest white man on the face of the earth, man. You're still better than that man, man. You could be the poorest black man on the earth with rips all in your jeans, ain't combed your hair for 50 years. You got one tooth and the one tooth you got's yellow as could be. You're still better than Bill Gates, man.
Right.
You're still better than the Queen, man. You're still better than Bill Clinton and all these people, man. You're still better than David Cameron, man. You're still better than Sadiq Khan. I don't care if you're a sister that has sex for cash, man, and that takes every manner of drugs on the face of the earth. You're still more valuable to the Lord than the Queen is, man. You're still more valuable to the Lord than David Cameron is, man. The Lord loves you, man, and the Lord wants you to change your life, man. And that's why he sent his prophets and his messengers, man. Go ahead.
God, a wise man scaleth the city of the mighty.
Give me Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18.
Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction.
Pride goeth before destruction, man. Pride goes before destruction. Most people is so proud that they end up destroying themselves, man. Someone that's so proud will be in the wrong and can't accept that they're in the wrong, man. Someone will be in the wrong and can't even accept that. You need to understand, once you're in the truth, you're gonna be checked, man. Listen, we know we got a few check-ins to take in the future, man. We know we got to take check-ins in here. It's part of growing up, man. It's like your kids. You tell them until they stop doing what they've done wrong, man. Pride goes before destruction, meaning you're so proud. You think you're so over-righteous. You're better than everybody else. Nobody can't tell you nothing because you think you're so good at everything. You think the Lord's only dealing with you. You're so proud. You can't be wrong. You think you know everything. You think you're always in the right. That right there goes right before destruction, man. Sometimes show some humility, man. Sometimes show some humbleness. Sometimes understand you're going to be wrong in life. Sometimes say, Salaki, I messed up, I won't do it again. Don't be a proud bastard, man. Thinking you're always right. That comes before destruction, man. You're so proud that you end up destroying yourself. There's some people who're so proud that what? They refuse to pick up the phone for counsel. They refuse to listen to the outcome of a counsel. They leave the counsel thinking they're right and end up leaving the truth and end up destroying themselves, man. And then guess what happens? You look at their life in the near future, their life is a mess, man. Their life is a shambles, man. Their life has gone downhill. Why? Because that pride came before the destruction, man. They're so proud they've now destroyed themselves. Go ahead.
And a haughty spirit before a fall.
And a haughty spirit before a fall, man. You being proud and haughty and whatnot, not having no humility and humbleness, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. And guess what? Everyone's gonna see you fall, and you're gonna be the topic of discussion. And I'm gonna talk about you in class and why everyone shouldn't be a proud bastard like you was. I'm gonna talk about you in class and talk about why everyone should stay in the truth and not be weak like you was. Why everyone should not be proud like you was. Why everyone should not think they're better than everybody else and think they know everything and think the Lord's only dealing with them like you did. And now look at you. Now look at you. You're so proud and haughty. The falls came, man. And you're the reason why nobody should be like you, man. You're gonna be the face of the next class that I do. Your face is gonna be the thumbnail. I'm gonna put your picture as the thumbnail, and you're gonna have me pointing to your picture saying, "Don't be like this proud guy." I'm gonna have a picture of you as the thumbnail saying, "Don't be like this proud guy, man." That's what's gonna happen. Drop that. Give me what verse you at?
18.
Go ahead.
Verse 19.
Drop that. Actually, give me Matthew chapter 19 and verse 29. Matthew 19:29. Because I'm telling you, this, you see right here, this is the only thing that's going to save your life. Honestly, how do I know? I've been around the way for a long time. I've been around the way for a long time. I've seen it all. This is the only thing which is gonna save your life, man. Go ahead.
Matthew 19:29. And everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters.
And listen, man, to come into this truth, you have to forsake certain things, man. It's your grandma's 80th birthday and she's got one day left to live. So lucky you can't go to that birthday party, man, because it's against God. You have to forsake all that, man. Even though your family is going to come hard on you and beat you down, man. Talk about, oh, how do you love grandma but you didn't go to her 80th birthday party? Listen, man, you have to not be weak, man. You have to not give in to what your family members want you to do. Because what they would do is they would tempt you, man. They would tempt you with wickedness. They will say to you, surely God don't mind if you go in. Listen, this is what they will do. They'll put a situation on it that's not even the situation. They will say, oh, you see grandma. They'll say, well, grandma, you know, she's got about 1 more week to live. Surely God won't mind if you say paying your last respects to grandma by going to her birthday party. They don't even know the Lord. How do they know what the Lord minds about and don't mind about? You phone me and I'll tell you the Lord does mind, man. Don't be taking advice from people outside of the truth. They're telling you the Lord don't mind like they know the Lord. Like they've ever read a scripture, the Lord don't mind. How do they know the Lord don't mind? They don't even know the Lord to know if the Lord does mind or don't mind. And guess what? You be simple and you be like, you know what? It sounds right. It sounds good. I mean, my grandma is 80 and, you know, she's walking around with that Zimmer frame and, you know, she's walking around with that Zimmer frame and it would look good for the pictures. It would look good for the pictures. And then you start to think, actually, hold on. Maybe if I go there in my Hebrew attire, it don't look that bad. Listen, man, just don't go there, man. You can see grandma any other day of the year, man. You could have saw your grandma a week ago. The truth is this. You know you ain't seen your grandma for years, man. You just misuse your grandma as well. You just go there because you want your Sunday dinner. You just go there because you want money. You just go there because you know grandma's hearing's not too good and you can sneak girls in because grandma won't hear it. That's the only reason you go there for. Because you know you can sneak women into your grandma's house because her eyesight's dim. She's old in age and can't see as clear no more. Because listen, one time there was a sister. Her granddad was blind. Yeah, her granddad was blind. So she used to sneak people in. And her granddad used to come in the living room and they used to be sitting right there and the granddad couldn't see them because he's blind, man. She used to just say, be quiet and don't say nothing. Because people like to misuse. That's the only reason you like your grandparents, man. Go ahead. She used to misuse her granddad, man. He was blind, man. And she had men sitting on the couch and her granddad didn't even know, man. Go ahead. God. So much for loving your grandparents. Go ahead.
Or mother or wife.
Listen, man, you have to forsake your mother, man. You have to forsake your wife. Your wife wants you to put a Christmas tree in the house. You can't do it. Your wife wants this for Christmas. You can't have this for Christmas. Like, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas. She can have things any other day of the year. Why does she need it on Christmas, man? Listen, my rib's going to work and she will say, I don't celebrate Christmas and I got nothing for Christmas. Don't be getting your wife Christmas presents, man. I understand you've met a new woman and her birthday's coming up and she's going to cut you off. She's going to cut you off if you don't get her a birthday present. And obviously you just can't have her cut you off because this is the best looking woman you've ever had. This woman, she's got the best body out of the women you've ever had and you just can't lose her. You just can't lose her. So you have to celebrate birthdays so much. Listen, man, I understand it. I understand it's hard for you, but listen, the Lord said you can't celebrate that birthday, man. You have to forsake that woman. You have to let her know, look, I ain't celebrating your birthday. I ain't celebrating Christmas. I ain't celebrating Easter. Let her know that, man. That's what you have to let her know. Go ahead.
Or wife, or children, or land.
And listen, even your kids, man. Your kids are going to cry and be like, oh, I want this for Christmas. I want that for Christmas. You have to tell them, we don't celebrate Christmas in this house. This is what you tell them. This is a black household and we don't do Christmas, man.
Right.
The same way you don't do Diwali, you don't do Christmas, man. Your kids don't ask you for Diwali presents. So why are they asking you for Christmas presents? Tell them we don't do Eid, We don't do Christmas. We don't do Diwali. This is what you tell them. Be quiet now. I'm saving for the Passover because the Passover fee is $100 and the rooms is $175 a night. That's what you tell them. I'm saving for that. Also, everyone coming to the Passover, we need that money coming in ASAP, man, because we need to book that flight. We need to book that flight, man. We need to go and serve the Lord's Passover. We need to go and keep the Lord's Passover, which is April 9th. The Passover this year is in Yonkers, man. We're going Yonkers again. And we're sorting out the rooms and how it's going to go. And obviously, it's going to be cheaper if we share rooms and whatnot. Listen, man. Be grateful that you're sharing a room at the Passover with another human being, man. Listen, man. Mary and Joseph was sharing an inn with animals, man. They were sharing an inn with during the Passover. They were sharing an inn with animals, man. And this is how you know the way UPK does Passover is so righteous, man. Even in the time of Mary and Joseph, when they was going to keep the Passover, they couldn't get no room in the inn. You know why? Because all them hotel rooms was booked up, man. Right. Because everybody was there in Jerusalem for Passover, man. Everybody is going to be in Yonkers for Passover, man, booking up them rooms, man. The same spirit of the Passover back then is the same spirit of the Passover back now, man. Right. It's right now, man. Everything's booked up, man, because everyone's going to the Passover, man. We ain't like them. We ain't like them fake Israelites, man. That do what? Eat doner meat and chips as their Passover. Eating doner meat and chips as their Passover, man. Nah, man. We have the lamb, man. And this year listen. I want everyone from the UK to come out to Passover this year, man. Each year we get better with it. I mean, the first year we wasn't so organized. So the first year we wasn't so organized, but we made it, man. The second year we was better than the last year. This year we're gonna make it work, man. Everyone get your money in time so we can all be on the same flight. So the flight can be full of Israelites, man. So the flight can be full of boots and fringes, man. Right. So the flight can be full of that, man. So much that I want to be, listen, I might even take the seat next to the pilot, man. I want that much Israelites on there that the pilot says, you know what, you might as well just come sit next to here. Why is it the co-pilot? That I'm the co-pilot, man. I'm trying to be the co-pilot of the flight, man. I'm trying to get everyone there to Passover this year, man. Start saving from now. This is usually what? 600, about 600, 700. Listen, I want to say to you 600, but it usually goes up, man. Yeah, because it's around the Easter holiday times, the price goes up. So have 700 for your flight and also have the money for your rooms. I don't want to get there and then we're booking the rooms and then everyone's looking, everyone's gazing into heaven. You're gazing into heaven like the men in Acts, the first chapter, when gazing into heaven, man. Listen now, no, we don't need none of that. Everyone start saving, man. We've been telling you to save from the last Passover. Everyone start saving and also transfer money over so you have dollars, man. So when you go there, you can get whatnot. Everybody, listen, everybody knows when we get to America, man, all the men, we go in our hotel rooms and then we go get them bottles, man. We get them bottles, man. That's Shamgar and Magawar, man. That's them, man. Officer Parasha, man. Then California comes through, man. New York comes through, man. Everybody comes through, man. Even the brother from Hawaii comes through, man. We all got them drinks there, man. Everything, man. See, brothers with the white. Listen, that Passover trip is so excellent. There's so much brothers that you salute until your hands nearly falling off. One time I pressed the lift landed. About 10 UPK brothers is in the lift. I say, no sweat, I'll wait for the next one. The next one's come. Another 10 brothers is in the lift, man. So much brothers all over that everywhere you walk and you see Israelites all over, man. It's a shadow of the kingdom, man. Right. That right there is a shadow of the kingdom. You wake up in the morning, there's always a brother awake, man. You go downstairs, there's a brother awake, man. Out of the UK bunch, I'm the only one that can't sleep. Everyone else will be sleeping and whatnot. I was up at 6 a.m., man. Woke up 6 a.m., went downstairs. Who do I see checking in? Captain Mashak, man. Right. I was like, oh shit, Captain Mashak, my young. He turned around, he's like, oh shit, Dam Gabardin. Yeah, man. Then even Trinidad came through, man. All the brothers was there, man. Brother, listen, Jamaica came through, man. What's his name? The brother Abadawan, man, came through, man. Jamaica was there, Trinidad was there, Hawaii was there, New York was there, California was there, the UK was there, man. Everybody was there, man. All brothers with a different accent, but we all got the same common interest, man. We all believe in the same things. We all got one doctrine, man. Passover is such a beautiful thing, man. You see all the generals, man. You see General Hyman come through doing that cool walk that he does when he comes through, man. You seen that cool walk that he does when he comes through? You see all the generals come through. You see Commanding General YAHANNA come through, man. Our brother that shouts to Allah Wakpan Ya Barak. We do all of that, man. You learn the proper protocols, man. You see brothers that you only see on the internet. You look at all these rough brothers, man, and you're like, damn, these brothers is loving. This is the place they need to be. Listen, you can leave $1 million up there, and guess what? Your $1 million is still going to be there when you go back up there. Nah, my brother knows to pay his tithes out of it already. Mate, we might take the 10% to pay the tithes. Just get your Passover money in so we can book the flight. Make sure your passport's in date. Make sure you got your visa. Make sure your visa hasn't expired. Because what I saw